Check the draw. Do we have a draw? Do we have a draw? Yes, we have a draw. Woo! Oh my goodness, friends, look at this. No wonder the battery's going dead every night. Judas Priest, we have 270 milliamps of current coming out of this thing. Oh, for the love of George. What on earth shall we do? Are you going to tell me, Ezra, that I'm not sharing? I swear I shared this, didn't I? So help me God, if I did not share this, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to kill somebody, maybe myself. It's okay. No, I'm not. I'm just saying that. So you didn't get to see the test at all, didn't you? Did you?
No, we didn't see anything, and I tried to tell you twice, but...
Ah! It's okay. Mr. Groom's going to calm down. It's going to be okay. I'm going to review because I want this whole thing on a freaking video. So you just sit tight. Just sit tight. I'm going to share the whole freaking thing again. Ah! By the way, here's a good tip that you've got to draw if you were to, which you should not, but if you were to pull off that cable, okay, then, and there was a ginormous spark, that's a pretty good sized draw, friend, okay? So let me just go ahead and retighten this and we'll play the game again. Woo! All right. All right, so as I said, the customer comes in. Customer complaint is my battery goes dead overnight. Can you fix it? We say, of course we can. Of course we can. So let's get out the old tester. Again, we have several of these. Here's this one. It's a nice, I like this one because it's nice and it's portable. I'll visualize you on it here momentarily. Oh, there it is. Cute. Main menu, yeah, I just want to do, you can't really read that. It's just going to do a battery test. Cool. I'm just going to put this, I'm just going to randomly click on a number. That's cool. And I hit save. And it says, yes, it's in the vehicle. The battery is clearly in the vehicle. It's a top post. It's automotive. It's regular. Cold cranking amps. And again, I just made up that it was 600 cranking amps because the top of the battery is wore off. You can't tell. So let's go ahead and hit enter. It wants to know what the temperature is. If it's cold, it's not going to read well. It's not going to test well, so just to know that. And then it says, are they battery cables clean and turn? Yes, they're clean. Hit enter again. Oh, I got an arrow over first. There you go. And then it says, hey, replace the battery. It's kind of hard to see that thing. Replace the battery. It only tested 351 cold cranking amps. And that's fine. Again, for what we're doing now, it's fine. Okay. If it was a situation where this was a real deal, then yes. So I went a whole lot further. I could still do the test. Don't get me wrong. But part of the reason that this car's battery is going kaput is because your battery is bad, ma'am. Okay. So that's part of your problem. So could we go ahead and change the battery and then that would still have a problem? Of course. So what we want to know is, I'm going to verify the person's complaint. So we're going to take our tester. Again, make sure that your leads are plugged in appropriately. We're on the milliamp amp scale. Again, when you do this initially, well, first of all, if you're here and when you've been testing voltages, usually she'll yell at you because you got in the wrong hole over here. You want to make sure that you're in the amp side hole. Okay, there we go. And we're here, but if you look, it says AC right there. It's hard to visualize. We're going to hit the yellow button. And that puts it in DC mode. And right now, there's no current flowing to it. I'm shocked. I'm not shocked. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to go here. And I'm going to put the other alligator clip here. Now, again, let me get in a little closer here. This is a marine-style terminal. Okay? You take this nut off right here. This piece just lifts right off. That's cool. But again, if you didn't, you would use this. This is a cool tool to buy. It's a marine style. Let's take this post out, get rid of it for right now. You put it on the battery post here. You slide this piece onto the battery post, and then put the battery cable over this end here. This is a switch. As soon as you undo this switch, there's no power flow because there's an insulation piece between these guys. So the current flows through here, When this is in tight, it flows through the metal bolt up to the metal. And you look on the bottom of this guy, there's a metal contact in there, and it makes contact on the upper piece, and the current can flow. So if this is unscrewed like it is now, this is open switch, close it down, it's a closed switch, power will flow. This is nice if you have it. If you don't sweat it. Last couple of videos I've showed you, a guy, you can also just loosen the clamp. Where am I at? You can loosen the clamp up here, and then as you slide it up, slide one of these guys, just slide it underneath of it, like under that, and get on the post. Doesn't really matter as long as we have connection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this nut off right there, and I'm going to lift it off. I'm going to have you over here keeping an eye on our ammeter to see what's going to happen. Now, again, customer complaint is that we have a draw. Now, I did do one thing a little wrong, and I forgot to do that momentarily, so we're going to go do this in a second. Well, we're going to talk about it, I put it that way. And that is the idea that I have the doors open, which I should have them open, but we need to make sure that we have the, oh, look at that, Mr. Groom, 273 milliamps. That's a lot. That's a lot, friends. And so the thing to keep in mind is when we're doing this whole procedure here, we want to make sure that our doors are open so we can get in and out of the vehicle. That's important to us, but we also need to make sure that the lights are off. Now, I will say this. I'll bring you around and get a good view of that for us here. This particular vehicle, the courtesy light, that is the dome light, whatever you want to call it there, it is, well, it's no longer existent, to be honest with you. So you look up in here, there should be a light bulb on the ceiling, and it's an empty socket, which is less than optimal. But for our case, it's not a big deal. If you look in here, you see that latch right there. When the striker goes in, this piece gets bent up like that, and now she's in the latched position right there. Be careful, though. It should latch all the way over. See if it goes that right to there. That is in the latched and locked position for going down the road. Now, be careful. You close the door right now. You're not going close. And you're going to be like, wow, I don't want it closed. You locked it, dummy. That's why. Okay. Now, again, some of our vehicles will not go to sleep or anything until that happens. Some of our cars, too, as well. This one isn't one of them. But frequently, especially on newer cars, if you leave the keys in the car or the ignition, she will also not go to sleep. Okay? Won't go to sleep. Because the key, it sees the key in the car. A lot of our newer cars don't even need a key to start. They just have to be in the car, in the vehicle somewhere, or in your pocket. And so if they left it in there, good luck shutting it down. Okay? It's kind of like when you get home late, your mommy's still awake. She couldn't go to bed, she couldn't go to sleep until you were home. Kind of same thing. Again, keep your eye on that latch popped open right there. Just make sure you get that done. Again, this is typical of every car that we'll see. Reach in here, roll this guy back over until she clicks, and there you go. That door now is latched, and so if we needed to, like some cars, we get out of the car, boop, boop, shut the car down, and then in theory, the car should go to sleep at that point. Okay? Now, again, assuming that was all that we had to worry about, that was the only problem, okay? When the computer's all shut down, this sucker should be sitting down around 30 milliamps, maybe 40. Maybe on a really top, let's say you got a brand new Cadillac or something that's got 2,000 freaking modules for everything, like how hot my butt needs to be in the morning, but at noon I don't have my butt quite as hot on the seat, and so forth and so on. It's going to be drawing obviously a lot more juice, even when the key's off, okay? But on a rig like this, it should be drawing almost nothing, okay? A little bit for PCM, and a little bit for PCM, and a little bit for like keeping your presets alive in your radio, things like that. Okay? So, awesome. Now, a couple things. I'm going to point you in the direction of the fuse box over here. This is one of the fuse boxes. This is the under hood fuse box. Okay. And I'm going to actually get you over there where you can see it a little better. Now, what I am going to do I'm going to grab my test light and show you a couple different things here. Now, I'm going to go to battery negative here with my test light. Notice I got a battery positive, my light lights up, and that's cute. Meaning every time I touch something that's hot, it's going to light up. These fuses here, now these are maxi fuses that I'm looking at here. These maxi fuses, so this one's a 40 amp one. Notice that both sides are hot. Means these guys are good. Now, what? Oops, you can't see me testing. There you go. Now, this is harder than it looks. Now, these little fellas here, sometimes they're harder to grasp. Get in there and touch them. So I can check all these fuses and do this, see if I have any blown fuses. Now, here's my deal. I know it's not a blown fuse issue. If it was a blown fuse issue, I wouldn't have any current flowing at all because the fuse would be back. I'm simply showing you these because I think it's important to understand how to test the fuse. Now, these guys back here, that one is hot. This one, is it dead, Mr. Green? Listen, if it was dead, one side would be hot and one side wouldn't be hot. That sounds to me like this guy is only on when something else switches for us, okay? Again, I just wanted to show you that, how to test. That's one way to test the fuse. Here's another way to test the fuse. I'm going to break out my power probe. Okay, once again, the power probe tool that I really like. For some things, for other things, I don't know, it's okay. Some things I really, really like it though. So again, it hooks on to positive and negative, which is kind of handy. Okay, if you look at it up here, keep an eye on this little meter right here. When I go in there and touch something that's hot, it will tell me what the battery, voltage is. So it says 12.3 on there and it has that red light. That means it's hot. Okay. If I touch something that is ground, like the bumper here, well, something that's grounded for God's sake, you'll see that it puts off a green light. That means it's grounded. All right. So this is a different tool for that. I don't like it as well as I do a test light for just that purpose. I like it because I like to be able to send power. Like if I want to test a motor or something, I want to test some motor. I want to see, hey, are we showing on this motor? Can it work? Does this motor still work? And I can send power to it. Or perhaps if I'm working on tail lights and I think I might have a bad ground. If I push, I think I showed you this the other day. If I push the, oh, for crying out loud, I need more flat spaces to pile crap. There's not enough flat spots in the world. If I push this button while it's plugged in, if I push the rocker switch forward, I put power to the tip. If I pull it back, I put in ground to the tip. And that's what I really, really, really like this tool for. For me, it just really shines. If I suspect I have a ground issue or a switch issue or some other issue, I can work around it and send power or ground directly to the spot that I need it and see if in fact that's my problem, or maybe it's just some other deal. Now, on this vehicle, guys, there's this underhood fuse box here. Okay? Now remember, just because something is the fuse is good, that does not mean that we don't have the fuse is good. Yeah, that's true. Yay, okay, the fuse is good. But what about it, Mr. M? Well, the fuse is good, but here's our issue with that. We still have a current draw, okay, obviously. So then what we want to know then is, on these guys, can we look at a voltage drop? I just realized I need another meter, just a sec. Cool. So on this meter, we're going to set it up on volts DC, which is the straight line guy. Make sure we're plugged in down here, common, and of course volts on the side. And now we're going to measure voltage drop across some fuses. Now, how do I know which fuse? I don't. Yeah. Yeah. So we are going to test them all. Okay, just like the Pokemon. Got to get them all, man. All right. This might be easier said than done. All right, somebody's got to focus on this deal for me and then tell me what the number is, and I'm going to go around and poke these guys in again, okay? All right, you go over there. I'm going to wander around this. God, there's too much junk in the way. All right, now, for instance, on this 50 amp maxi fuse. 0, can you see that? No voltage drop. 40 amp maxi. Nada. The 50. No, get on there, you hippie. Nada. The 20. Nada. The 50. Nada. All these little farts. Little 30 feller here. Hold on. 6 millivolts. Jot that down, somebody. 6 millivolts. 0. 0. 0. 0. I will call that 0. I think it's a little fluctuating, but I guess that wasn't getting on. 0. 0. Kind of weird. Yeah, 2 or 3. Oh crap. I think you should have any on them because issue is. Nice, yeah. This one right here, we'll double check him. No, it doesn't seem to be there anymore. I think it's because I wasn't on there all the way or something. So, one's under the hood, I just double checked and did nothing. Now, where else on this car would we have a, what do they call it? Fuse box. So let's go look that up here. Oh, it's up here, stupid. Where am I at? Oh yeah, here. Go here. Pro demand. Oh, I'm gonna actually go to the other computer real quick. Let's go and look at the other computer. I had it up over here earlier. It should be up still, I think, maybe. Oh no, I guess I closed it. Pro demand. Vehicle history. There we go. Nice. Now, fuse box. Now, in here, you should be able to find component location. Okay. So there's engine compartment 1. And that's nice. Engine compartment. That's fine. What I don't see is behind dash, right side of the steering column. Interesting. Interesting. Let's go look at that. Interesting. So, bringing you with on this cart here, I think, maybe. I had all this set up, and then now I'm realizing I should have just moved some of this crap out of the way. I know, I haven't shared yet. Camera. Oh, yeah. I know, let's use that $2,500 scope as a prop for your computer. Awesome. So if you look right there, and I'll try not to knock it over, right here we have a fuse box. Oh, that's cute. I want to know what's in there. I'll be darned. Huh. Oh, look at that. Some more fuses. What else? Yeah. I'm going to do the same thing I did out. Oh, sorry. I'm going to do the same thing I did outside with the meter. Try to get you as zoomed in as I can. You can see it. Actually, I'm not going to zoom you in. I'm going to do the same thing I did out there. I'm going to put the scope of the meter right in front of you, though, and see if we can figure this out. Now, again, I set this up so I know where the problem lies, obviously. If you were doing this for a customer's car, you would have taken it seriously. And look, you've been like, oh, this is a problem. That's the problem. That's what it looks like. Again, not trying to poo-poo it at all, but what I want you to see is that as we're doing these guys, pay attention to them, okay? Now, see if I can get you closer here. Just you focus on the meter. All right, you tell me if you ever see any voltage drops. What does that say? Ezra, unmute yourself, talk to me. What does that say?
Can't see because of the glare.
Seriously? All right, maybe if we turn it this way. That more better?
Yeah.
All right. What about that? Nothing?
Nope.
Sure. Here?
Nope.
Here?
Nope.
Uh, you hear me?
Yep. Not again.
Nothing? For real? Oh. All right. Here?
No.
How about this one here?
It jumped up for a second, but no.
There?
No.
Yeah, I want to get my other pins on. I don't think this is connecting very good. Okay, again, just going down, touching all the fuses as we go. Testing them all. I should have done this to start with. But that's it.
Very, very minimal, if anything at all.
How much? What's the number?
0.01. Sometimes it goes up to like 0.05.
0.05. What does it say right now?
It's fluctuating. It keeps going up and down, up and down, up and down. But it's anywhere from 0.01 to 0.05.
I'm going to look at myself, okay? I just want to see what I'm doing here. Hang on. Don't go anywhere. All right, so I'm getting about 7 pretty consistently when I was holding it there. 7 millivolts. Now, that is a mini fuse. So what I want you to see is on this guy here, I'm going to go to the come on, Jay, pull your head out of your butt. Voltage drop chart for the come on, Jay, for the probe, the power probe. There you go, dummy. That's what I want. And so if you look at this, if you scroll down a ways, you will find the minis. So we're looking at ATC minis. Those are maxi fuses. There's a mini fuse, and then we're looking at the blue one for 15 right here. And we're over here in this neighborhood. So we're looking at how many millivolts we had. So we were looking in the neighborhood of, I said about 7-ish millivolts. All right. That's what I thought it looked like. I'm going to go measure it again real quick. Okay. Now, clearly if it was 7, we'd be screwed because that'd be a lot of milliamps out there. So I'm going to double check it, see if I agree with myself or if I'm mad at myself. Yeah. Okay. Well, this isn't perfect apparently because, well, actually there it is. Here we come. So 6 down into here somewhere, 15, and you're like, wow, this is in millivolts, Mr. Groom. Milliamps, I mean. So it made like 1.3 amps. I'm here to tell you it can't be 1.3 amps, but you know what it's not? It's not 0, and it's not even close to 0, okay? In other words, that one right there is where our problem lies, okay? We have a huge amount of current on that guy. Can I figure the exact amount out? Well, I can. So now that I kind of have it pinned down, let me bring you back around, and I'm going to focus you on our draw one so that you can see what happens when I unplug it, that fuse. Okay, so I'm going to put you back to this computer. I want you to focus on our current draw. Again, we're still at 270 milliamps. Okay, let's see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and reach in here. I'm going to grab this. Well, maybe I am. I'm going to get a pair of pliers. I'm going to reach in and I'm going to pull that fuse out. Now notice, I don't just start pulling fuses randomly because you wake crap up and you hurt yourself in the long run. So once I have an idea of which fuse it is, like I think I have an idea, I'm going to go ahead and pull it out and see what happens. Okay? Where do we end up? Well, son of a gun. Look at that. We just got rid of 269 or thereabouts milliamps of current. What does that say? That says that the problem lies on that particular circuit. That makes sense? So we've honed in on it based on, we've done some voltage drop testing. And again, I don't have to be, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay? I don't have to look at it and go, well, Mr. Groom, it said on that voltage drop chart, it said 200, it said like 1300 milliamps. That's like 1.3 amps. I don't care. That's not important. You know what it's not? It's not 0, and it's significantly not 0. In other words, there will be some other fuses that'll show maybe a skosh of power going through them. Yeah. Maybe the customer left his iPod charging, or what's an iPod, you old man? You get my drift. On the cigarette lighter. Cool. It could happen. And the idea would be then, what am I going to do now? Well, so we got to figure it out. Last year, the Amoses, Mr. and Mrs. Amos, school board member, former teacher here, brought their van in at a parasitic draw. And the deal was on that one, when she closed the door on the driver's side, the sliding door, it didn't latch 100% of the way. And so it was making this beeping noise. So she turned this other deal off where it wouldn't make that noise, put on manual, and it wouldn't do it anymore. Well, it wasn't latched 100% of the way. And so the computer would never go to sleep. And it was like waiting for its kids to come home. Ben, come home. I can't sleep without unless my babies are in my nest or whatever kind of a thing. Okay. And that's what was killing that one. Okay. And so we finally figured out, hey, that one right there, that's the fuse that it's on. And again, it didn't have to be perfect. Okay. It didn't have to be like, oh, that's exactly the right exact from that chart. It's not. And it's okay that it's not, because I look at it, I'm like, you know what? Doesn't matter. That is significantly not 0. So it's at that point, I go ahead and pull that fuse. Almost my entire current draw from the entire rig went away. What does that tell me? It tells me I found the right problem. Okay. So let's look at this for a minute. Let's pull up Pro Demand. And let's go take a look at the fuse. Now, I will tell you right now, that was fuse number 29. Ford is wonderful because Ford tells us which fuse it is in the fuse box. Nice. Now, it doesn't say here, restraint system. Yeah, I don't think that's the right one, Mr. Groom. I mean, I feel like that's weird. How else could we do it? We could go to wiring diagrams. We could go to system wiring, and we could do down here to power distribution. And we could scroll through here until we found fuse 29. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 29. Hey, there it is. What? That's cool. Another way to do it would be to go to literally fuse box diagram. Oh, Ford Ranger, 98 Ranger. And again, the nice thing about Ford is Ford usually numbers them, but it doesn't usually label them. But what a guy can do typically is come in here and grab one of these guys. And usually one can then find what one needs by clicking around in here, and you can find them labeled, like maybe right here even. So fuse 29. Okay. And sometimes it's helpful. Again, if I'm at, there should be a law against Pinterest. I hate Pinterest. It's not Pinteresting. All right. But typically you can find a solution where it does this. Okay. Now, again, if this is at home, you don't have access, that's one way to do it. Okay. Another way to do it, of course, is to go to my all data, which is now working again, fortunately. At least it was the other day. We can try looking it up in here too. So 98 Ranger. 4WD, 3 liter. Cool. So you can try it a couple of ways. You could come into here and type in fuse 29 because we know that's where our issue lies. And oh, look at that. Interesting. Fuse 29. Oh, it took me right to the actual power distribution center. But right there, fuse 29, baby. What does it run? Hey, it runs my radio. Well, that's interesting. I wonder if there's something wrong with your radio, Mr. Groom. Let's find out. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put that fuse back in momentarily, and I'm going to try to demonstrate another interesting tool that we have. We'll see if it works like it's supposed to or not. So we have this, where am I at? We have this infrared camera. Nice. I will turn it on and point it at my face. I'm going to do on this camera here instead, I think. I don't want to share anymore. I'm going to do this share. Oh, okay. Wait. Turn it on your face. Mr. Groom, you're hot. I know, right? Here. Ooh. But your nose is a little chilly. It is. It is actually very cold, my nose is. What about your hands, Mr. Groom? Are they? Wait, where's the camera, dummy? What about your hands? Hey, they're actually warm today. That's kind of weird. I'm very unlike Mr. Groom. Kind of like a dog, cold, wet nose. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take this with me into the vehicle. And now that we have an idea that the radio might be the issue, this camera, oops, maybe you don't point at yourself, might pick up any heat that's in the dash. It's kind of hard to visualize what's going on. Plus the dash is just, it is what it is color-wise. We can heat back in there. Interesting. Did you know there's going to be heat in there? Then over there, but again, notice that orange. Let's see. Anyway, it's not like the orange. I wish I could. Nothing is like screaming hot. If I'm touching the dash, I don't really feel it hot. I don't feel like, oh no, that's great. If it was a super huge amount of draw, like maybe an amp and a half or something ridiculous like that, holy cow, friends, yeah, you're going to see a heat signature from that. We have like a quarter of an amp. That is not a huge amount of draw. It's not a huge amount of draw. I'm going to set you over here. So as a result, you're not going to see a huge temperature. I'm going to go ahead and pull this. Let me get the tool here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and pull this radio out, which people down here which I already taken out. And it's going to pop the Tesla. Look in here. Huh. What is that? Some idiot put a light bulb on top of there and it's actually nothing to the duct tape. We put it cover up. Weird. I'll be jiggered. Done that. Yeah, exactly. So, it smells bad. It does. Now, I'm going to take a picture of that with the camera real quick. I'm trying to get you a picture of that before it completely melts that and goes hot, starts firing shot, which would be really cool. How'd that happen? Oh, I burned duct tape. Whoops. what I did was, now I pissed it off, really. Okay, that's remember they figured it. Got it. All right, so I've been posting this picture. Let's see. Actually, I think I can pull it into the camera. I'm doing this. Meanwhile, I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to unplug that wire that I have plugged in. Okay. And boy, it smells bad. Ugh. So, this camera is pretty slick in that it will take both infrared and regular pictures at the same time. So what's kind of cool is, you're not 100% sure what you're looking at. You can then turn off the infrared portion and look at just the regular picture portion. Okay? Let's see if we can pull this into the computer from the camera real quick so you guys can see what I did. Now, this is what I saw was just a picture of that light bulb, and which was, again, pretty darn toasty. By the way, I wouldn't have done that with if I was going to draw like an amp of current, I wouldn't have done that. Or not an amp, like 5 or 6, 3 or 4 amps or whatever. I wouldn't have done that because it would have been like screaming hot in there, and it could have caused some issues for us. Maybe this thing, come on, transfer the file, dummy. Why aren't you transferring? Not sure why it's not wanting to transfer. Maybe I'll post that later today. Let's see. Actually, I could do that maybe. No. Well, I thought there's just one button. How hard can it be when there's one button, Mr. Groom? Oh, there he goes. There we go. I got you, dog. There we go. I'll just probably hold up to the camera, I guess. I don't know. There's the desktop. I took a couple pictures of that. That's box office. There's my computer. There. Nice. Oh, that's hot. All right. So I'll try to show that on this camera here, I think, because it seems to be a little better resolution-wise. All right. So if you look at that right there, you can see the bulb right there, that bright orange spot. And then that's what the camera actually picked up. You can see the duct tape that I put over it. And you see the blue bulb burning right there. That's what the actual picture looks like. And then that is how hot it is back in there. Okay, had that been like a 1 or 2 amps worth of current, that would have been ridiculously hot. Okay, it would have been pretty clear that that's where your problem lies. Again, that's what's kind of neat sometimes about bigger current draws, because it's a lot more obvious that you've got a problem. This one was relatively minor in the grand scheme of things, because 1/4 of an amp, it will run your battery down eventually. It's a lot. I'm not going to sugarcoat. That's a lot of current. It is not 2 amps though. 1 or 2 amps is a lot of current, and as a result, man, something's going to be getting screaming hot, dude. You should be able to feel it. You might be able to smell it. Like I could smell the duct tape in there, and eventually, if I let it get going, I would have really smelled that duct tape. And so just be aware of that. The bigger the current draw, the easier usually it is to find where the problem lies. Right? Again, I don't think that the infrared camera is the end all be all, but that one we saw last year was a radio. I did that one, and actually the radio itself actually was bad. It wasn't just some idiot put a light bulb behind it for you to find. There was actually a major problem in the thing, and you could see it plain as day. That sucker was just glowing compared to the rest of the dash. Okay, the rest of the dash is fairly cool. That was just like orange. Okay, pretty good idea that's the guy that's on. Again, but it wasn't hard because we saw that. We started I started doing voltage drops across all the fuses. Hey, this one is significantly not 0. Okay, pulled it out, boom, dropped right back down to like 30 milliamps, 35 milliamps or whatever, which is normal. So that obviously is the one where the problem was. Go to Pro Demand or whatever, look up the diagram, see what's on there. I did this one on purpose from the standpoint of I thought it'd be pretty easy to pull the radio out I knew it had a 12-volt positive all the time and a ground all the time back in there. So it'd just be easy to back probe it, piece of cake. And then it would just simply be a matter of, going to you guys going and finding it. Okay. However, had there been a situation where it'd been cool to have it be on another system with 4 or 5 other deals. Okay. Okay. Well, it's on this system somewhere. Well, what could you do? Here's an idea. Unplug the radio. If you had unplugged the radio and the problem was inside the radio, well, your draw would go away 100%. Okay. Just unplug the connector out of the radio. That wasn't it. All right. Now, the other thing that's on here is maybe the cigarette lighter. All right. Unplug the cigarette lighter. Okay. I fixed it. No, it didn't. All right. Then it's not that. Keep moving. And you can unplug each one of those pieces along the way. Okay. Be careful. If any of them are modules, if you unplug a module, then you plug it back in, you wake everybody up again. Okay. But in that case, you could just start unplugging things like, I don't know, Mr. Grimm, the light. Oh, well, I was actually looking for, I think that Tahoe in the parking lot has, the lighted vanity mirrors on the visors. And so I was thinking about taking one of those and then making sure they stayed on, and because that would draw some current. And then, of course, it'd be hard for you guys to see it, with the visor up. And I wouldn't point you in that direction, obviously. Like if you're here in the shop, you're like looking at it, Mr. Grimm, why does that visor have a cool little halo of a glow in it? Because the light's on, ding dong. But that would be kind of a fun one. But obviously both visors would be on that circuit, and some other things would probably be on it, maybe some other interior lighting. And then it would be easy. You could kind of start tracking it down. Okay. Oh, well, that passenger vanity mirror, first of all, it's hot. You could take a 3D picture of it, or you could put your hand on and go, geez, that's a little toasty up in there. And then you can just kind of work till you find the answer. Okay. Could be a short. Could be a system that's not going to sleep like it's supposed to. And again, when we say go to sleep, it means shut down to where it's just got this minimal background stuff going on. Or it could be a situation where, you have a light that's on and you just can't see it for whatever reason. For instance, you close the trunk. If the trunk lid's closed, but that light stays on, it's going to run your battery down. Like, you didn't know it was on. Well, no, because the battery was closed. The trunk was closed. So obviously that's going to be an issue if you have a situation like that. That's why we want to have the trunk open. We want to have all the doors open and everything. We want to make sure that they are latched. If you have a car that has door buttons, when you push them in, when the door shuts, the button shuts the lights off. Then we want to make sure those shut off. So the only thing that's supposed to be on is what the background noise is. And then we can hone in on where the problem lies. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns? What do you think? It's not too bad. It's actually a lot of fun. Okay. I wish you guys were here. This would be a lot of fun to set them up for you guys to do in person, because it's not very hard. This Ranger doesn't have a ton of circuits, but it's got plenty. It's got more than you want it to have. And so it's simply a matter of, oh yeah, let's check it out. Oh, this is the guy that has the problem. All right, let's go see what's on this guy. It's not hard. It's just step by step process through the line. Oh, by the way, pulled the radio out yesterday afternoon. I soldered this little wires together for this little plug, so I got to stick it in there today. I got it plugged in. Let's see, the light won't come on. I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Yeah, there's no power at the radio. Are you kidding me? If I could look at this fuse, it's missing. Like 3 fuses were missing. So I bought some fuses today. I need to restock the back anyway. So I plugged them in and, hey, look at that. The light comes on now. It's kind of hard to have a parasitic draw when you have that kind of a situation going on. So questions, comments, concerns, anything? Anyone? No? All right. Friday, it's going to be a quiz. Parasitic draw kind of things. Some of the sensors we've talked about, that sort of thing. That's what's going to be on it. I'm going to try to do an extra credit deal over break. Not really sure what's going to be about yet, because I've been thinking about it, but I haven't got there yet. Anything? Anyone? No? Maybe? No? All right. Are you still there? That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I said, now if you write.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm glad. It's not too hard. And again, I think it's kind of a fun one. I mean, it's kind of interesting. But the thing I like about it is it's just step by step by step by step. Yep, you've got to draw. Okay. I really like that voltage drop test. It doesn't have to be perfect. If it's not 0, hey, there's current flowing through that guy. And if there's more than one of them, that's possible. All right. And then pull the fuse on that guy. And if it drops down to where it's supposed to be, then that's your circuit. And then go figure out what's on the circuit. And then just work your way through the circuit to find where the problem lies. Okay. So if you think about it from that standpoint, they're kind of fun. They're kind of easy money, and God help me, I love electrical stuff. Okay. It's fun. It's more interesting than anything else, I think. Okay. All right. Well, you guys have a good day. We'll see you later. I miss you guys. No, I'm not joking either. It's kind of fun. It's sad missing you being here. All right. See ya.